What's going on, everyone? I hope you all are having a great Monday. Um, yeah, so today's video, I kind of wanted to talk about money and careers and just kind of some general thoughts. Um, Nothing too crazy, just some real life application of it. Before we get started, I thought of a new thing we could do. Just leave a comment before and just, let me know what's going on with your day, how you guys are doing. Um, yeah, just let me know what's going on. Great to hear from you guys when you comment. I love hearing and reading all your comments. So yeah, let's get started with the video. So I think that when in regards to money, I think that we right now, I think we're in a bad spot in regards to careers and what people want to do with their lives. Because I think that there's a really, really big push right now on, you know, you can only do something if you love it. Don't, don't sell yourself out and don't pursue something unless it's your, God-given pet talent, passion, all this stuff. And I think that creates, I think that message at the core is a very good message. I think that's like, you should always try to, do what you love to do and do what makes you happy. But I think we're in a spot right now where, like, I think that message is being twisted for a lot of people. And I think that it's kind of being a message of like a coping message, sort of, oh, well, I can't do what I love, so I'm just not going to do anything at all and be lazy and not apply myself and not get a job. I think a lot of people are using it that way. I see it all the time. Everyone's like, oh, I'm waiting for this perfect thing to happen before I can, work and, provide for myself or just make my life better with funds. And I think a lot of people also use it against other people that do something with their lives and make really good money, but maybe it's not necessarily something that is their passion, their what they love to do on paper. But it's a job. They don't hate it, and they make really good money. It's not they don't wake up every day and are excited to be there. But I think a lot of people can get that messed up. I think, let's say you go to a trade school for something, or you go to school for something that makes good money. Let's just keep it simple. You go to school or you get trained for something that makes really good money, but it's not like your passion. It's not like what drives you. It's not like your hobby. And I think nowadays a lot of people get shit on for that and it's not even by the people that do make good money by doing what they love. It's usually the people that are just saying like, wow, that person, yeah, they make good money and that, but look at them. They're not doing what they love. They sold themselves out for the money, and they're probably miserable. And it's like, I've never heard of that in my entire life. I mean, you look at anyone that makes good money, and we're not talking, hundreds of thousands a year or millions a year or even 100,000 a year, like really like reasonable, like money where you can, afford to pay all your bills and have money and just live your life and not have to worry about like money issues per se. Granted, if you are good at, not being an idiot, not spending all your money, but you guys get the point I'm trying to make. I think a lot of people are, that's just looked down upon. I think a lot of it's due to, there's just this overall message of, you'll never be happy unless you make the money via a method or a way that's, your passion in life, which is just absurd. I mean, if we got to get real, guys, I mean, we got to, you know, I think that if there's something in your life that like is kind of interesting or something you're even interested in, and it's going to provide you with a means to have a really good life and make good money, I mean, I think you got to do it. I think you have to pursue that. And at the same time, if you cut out all the other stuff, the meaningless stuff, you could still pursue your hot passion and your hobby or a passion project or something, some sort of business or something you want to do. At the same time, I mean, you look at any of these people that were successful and did what they wanted to do, there was still a grind. They were still working a job that, they necessarily didn't like, but they were still making money to provide for themselves. Like, yeah, we have the rare occasions where someone, puts it all on the line and just goes full blown, which I'm not saying you can't do, but don't be afraid to do something just for the money. Don't like do something that you're going to be, 100% miserable, hate your life at, but, you know, don't be afraid to do that. Because at the end of the day, money's not going to make you happy, but at the same time, you know, having money and having like a decent income is going to make you reduce your stress more than not having it, in my opinion. I'd rather be able to pay bills and have money to go out to eat and buy groceries and do all that stuff than sit at home and, complain that I'm not going to do something because it's, I don't like to work, or I don't like this, I'm not a social person, so I have to have a job at home, or this or that. It's like so many excuses. It's all it is. Anyone that says, oh, they only did it for the money they're just using an excuse not to do anything at all. I think I don't know. I think it's just getting out of hand in regards to this whole topic. What I'm talking about today, it's just getting ridiculous. I see a lot of people, because I'm in the medical field, and I see a lot of people, because the medical field right now, at least in the United States, like the medical field jobs, doesn't matter what you're doing, pays like really good wages. For most of it, like 90% of the stuff, like you're going to be making like enough to support yourself. Let's just put it that way. And the higher up medical degrees pay really, really well. Is really, really good as well. Granted, you do have to go into some debt for college if you're, don't have the money to pay for it in the first place, but you're going to make your money back on that. It's just it is what it is. Nursing pays really well right now. Doctors make incredible money. Like I said, you're going to go into debt with, the more higher up, like doctorate degrees, but you'll be able to pay your debt off. That's not an issue with that. But yeah, back to what I was saying about that whole area is, I see a lot of people, they just did it for the money. They did it for that because, obviously you have to have a little bit of interest in it to get into it. But, I'm not going to sit here and say that I go home and after, I'm done with doing what I have to do, I, sit and research all the stuff. Like, yeah, you have to do a little bit of stuff on your own time to like just get some concepts and learn. But, it's not like my go-to like thing. I just did it because I was interested in it and it paid good money. I mean, I didn't do it because I like, oh, that's just what I do. It's not like I'm doing, like let's just put it this way. If I wasn't getting paid to do it, I wouldn't do it. Let's just be real. I mean, we got to start being real, guys. We got to quit with this stuff of trying to make everyone feel good. And yeah, y'all get what I'm saying, I hope. But yeah, don't be afraid to do something if it's just for the money, even if it's temporary or long term, because that's just being a responsible person, guys. That's just what it is. You have to be a responsible person, or else, you could sit there and complain and mope and be sad about it, and oh, I don't want to do it because it's not what I like to do. But I mean, I think you're going to find a lot more fulfillment in being able to provide for yourself and others with a good paying job and just good income. And like I said before, you can have a job that you're not necessarily good at, or not good at, a job you're not necessarily like 100% passionate about, and you can still have time to work on your side business or your passion or any of that kind of stuff. It's just, you got to set your priorities straight and know what you cut out the stuff that's garbage in your life, so you have time to do both at the same time. I think, like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up here, but the concept of this whole video is just a lot of people just use that as cope. It's honestly just coping, because they're just too lazy to get up and go get a job or pursue something that they don't want to do, but they need the money. And I think that's just a trap. A lot of people get stuck in that mindset. Yeah. So, and even if you do have a job that, you make good money and you don't really necessarily want to pursue like making money off like your hobby, like don't be afraid of that either. There's nothing wrong with, you know, working for a job that pays good money and you can live a really good life. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if it's not necessarily your, the end all be all, the thing you love and are most passionate about. There's nothing wrong with that. Trust me, you'd rather be the person that works a good job and makes good money than the person just sitting at home complaining about the perfect opportunity to work. They're only going to work and if, it's for themselves and they're not, working for someone, or if they are working for someone, it's something they love. Most of the time, the people that are sitting there complaining aren't doing anything at all. So, have a little bit of pride. Have pride in yourself, guys. That's all it comes down to is, have pride. Do what you need to do. You know it needs to be done. And don't be afraid to do stuff for money. It's, you guys get the whole point. I'm not going to elaborate any further. You know, classic outro, subscribe, like, comment. Appreciate all the comments. I really do. Don't be afraid to comment. Love reading them. And have a great day.